Have you ever said, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I'm done with business. Maybe I shouldn't do this anymore. Um, you know, it's been a long time. And it's like you're just kind of fed up, right? You might have had a rough week. You might have been really trying to operate in business and ministry for some time and haven't gotten clarity, haven't gotten the right coaches, whatever that may be. I've done that before. And God corrected me. And He said, You're opening doors because you're in rebellion. I'm going to explain. If you don't know who I am and you've been following me, make sure wherever you see this video, you like, share, comment, all that. I really do love building relationship with individuals, not just posting just to post, right? I really love to hear your feedback. And so one thing that I realized over the last 20 years in business is, I love to help those multi-figured entrepreneurs level up, right? And why is that? It's because I want them to make the greatest impact with their students. A lot of times we create programs and we do coaching, and we are coaching from the skill set that we have and really the anointing that we have, but we don't add some of the things that help better build relationship and us understand how they operate, how they learn, how they connect, and really how they're leading with their anointing. And so it's the coaching is not as fruitful, right? And so I've enjoyed doing that for many, many years. I've helped simplify and streamline companies, organizations, nonprofits, churches, all that. And so that brings me into being in this arena for so long. It does take a lot from you when you are living, um, and what you're producing is essentially your paycheck, right? It's how you pay bills, rent, mortgages, take care of your family, all that. It's pretty different, right? You're full time, you're in it. And a lot of times when you're in an extended period of time, I mean, it takes a different kind of person to run a company, to run an organization, to be able to scale up where they're not the linchpin. And it really gets to you sometimes if you are not truly taking care of yourself. I know it seems overrated, right? But drinking water and getting enough sleep and enough self-care and rest and all that stuff. And we're like, yeah, okay, and eating healthy. And you're just like, dude, like, what the heck? Like, I get it. Okay. So, but these are foundational things that you'll realize that as you grow in maturity and stature in business, that, and I look at business and ministry as the same, um, that you'll find very quickly that this is why, right? High performers told you what they told you, because it's not about anything really in business but this discipline that you have to have. And so I wanted to bring this forward to you because I know that when you have that and it's weighing on you, you can start to say things out of your mouth that are like, you don't realize what you're saying. And so in 1 Samuel 15 and 23, it says, For rebellion is like the sin of divination, witchcraft, and defiance is like wickedness and idolatry, because you have rejected the word of the Lord, and he has rejected you as king, right? And so essentially, when you're looking at the Webster's 1828 word dictionary, you know me, I love my dictionary, and I like looking at the words. And so it says that you are in an open rebellion, you are in an open resistance to government, um, originally a revolt, that you have open resistance to lawful authority, a renunciation of authority of government. So you see what's happening. So when you guys are out there and we're speaking some of the things that we speak, and we're saying, I don't want to do this, or I'm done, or no, I'm not going to go restore this relationship, or no, I'm not going to do this. And we know that we've either gotten prophetic words from other prophets and others in general, and we know that we've tested that word. We know that it's right. We know that what God has for us, it doesn't always look what it is, like it's going to be great. But this is the thing. He will turn you over to that reprobate mind. He will turn you over to your own desires and wills. And you will pay the price for that, right? And so this is where the fear of the Lord comes in, and to where we trust him and lean not unto our own understanding, right? But in him acknowledge all of our ways, and really acknowledge the fact that his word came through, whether prophetically or whether written, but it came through. Now, this can relate to marriage, business, your children, your friendships, relationships, each and every area of your life. And so when I had been just praying and asking the Lord to show me, what was going on in my life and where I was at. And he said, because life and death is on my tongue, and on my tongue was rebellion, because I was exhausted. I have, whenever you start to get not feeling well, like after COVID, some things kind of occurred. And it was really interesting because once that occurred, once you're tired and just weak and all that, sometimes you don't have the energy and you're just like, I'm just done, right? And so, it is a recovery process that I've had to go through from having COVID twice and fevers going so high that it was dangerous. And I have suffered much after that. And so things became even more difficult. And this is a level of transparency that I just want to share, because I believe that we share enough of the victories, but we don't show the process that we had to get in to go to that victory, right? And so there was great consequence to that. And it took longer to do things. I had to read things over and over, a lot of fatigue, just a lot of things going on. And it was pretty interesting that when not feeling well, you become very emotional. And you might say things like, okay, I'm done with business. I can't right now. And right. And you start to retrain your subconscious, because it's easier to quit than it is to move forward and trust God. Because when you quit, you can explain, you can justify why you did it. But with God, you can't always do that until the end, when you kind of look back and you're like, that's why that happened that way. Oh my gosh, I didn't even see that. And then you're just like, wow. But we don't trust God enough along the journey, because we might just be believers that go to church, and after that, we're done. We build our businesses and ministries off of unbiblical systems because we have a coach or mentor or program that we purchased that are not built foundationally on biblical principles. A lot of the things in landing pages and marketing that is being done is very manipulative. It's not honest. And some of the things that I see are from phenomenal, even multi-figured entrepreneurs. And I'm thinking, why are you even doing this on your site? This is manipulative. It's deceitful. But it's how the system was taught, it was given. And so, a lot of times we separate that. But nevertheless, I just wanted to come and do a short video, just sharing with you that I want to encourage you that, remember, when you're in rebellion, you open up the door to witchcraft. You open up the door to much happening. So if there's a word that God gave you and you're not standing on it, ask him to help you with that. Ask other intercessors to come along. Ask him to send, let me correct that. Ask him to send intercessors, the right ones, because I've had some intercessors come alongside. I adore them. And you know what? I never knew them from anything. They just came in and it was just like, boom. And I didn't even have to tell them everything. They were prophetically inclined and in tune with what they needed to pray. And so, listen, I'm just going to share this with you. Okay? Because it's very important that we are not inviting things into our life which will affect business, marriage, children, relationships, and how we function. Okay? Because we're not understanding that we are in a form of rebellion. And what that has done is it has opened the door. So, maybe record yourself, find some others to hold yourself accountable and say, hey, like, if I say these certain things, stop me. Okay? Listen, I am saying it to myself just the same. I'm not perfect. There have been many times that throughout the process, I've wanted to just throw in the towel and I wanted to let go. And I've wanted to say, you know what, I'm done coaching. I am done mentoring. It's not rewarding anymore. And a lot of it had to do with, yes, there's pain. There's, your students move on. There's many different aspects to it. But we have to be firm, fixed, and immovable and not waver because something happens as a circumstance, and not think that it's always you and not think that it's always not you. And that's why I always say entertain the thought first. If something comes up, entertain it. Is there validity? Is there truth in that statement? Could you do better? Was it your fault? Could you have given a better system, a better flow for your students? Or could you have done better in your marriage? Could you have done better with your children and respond better, in that situation? And then ask God to give you just such grace and mercy as you fix it. And if it's not you, then all right, then give others the grace that you would have wanted. And ask God, how can you communicate this thing so you can say, hey, this is what I'm seeing. All right. Or even if you should, never know. All right. I wanted to bring that word to you today. Be careful what comes out of your mouth. I know that if you are in this marketplace area, if you're in business, okay, and we're building a ministry, church, whatever it is, if you're building and you're not working for someone and you're called to that, it's a road. It is a journey. You are pioneering, nevertheless. And I promise you, it will test you in every area of your life. Every area. But what I will say is this: make sure that you invest in your family and in your personal wealth first before you multiply and invest in your business. What does that mean? Let's say you make $5,000. A lot of times we'll turn around and use every single cent of that to keep duplicating and duplicating and duplicating and duplicating without certain things in place. And we realize years later that we honestly are not in a better place. And our family is even worse. Our marriage is even worse because we've taken no fruit from the business. We don't pay ourselves. We don't make sure that our wealth, our personal wealth, is taken care of. And so we struggle. And then we don't have the energy or mental capacity because we're very discouraged that we're not seeing fruit. I have to talk more about that later. But understand that there is an order, there is a way to build that can keep your family and you healthy and sustained in the process of building. Um, it's a long journey. It's not like this overnight thing. And that's when you know that you are stepping in from business, right? Or from hobby into a business. Okay. All right. So I'm hoping that if you're hearing this, that you are in business, and you can write, I am in business. Or if you're in a hobby, that's fine, nevertheless. But all right, guys, I love and adore each and every one of you. And tell me what you thought. Tell me what your thoughts are. Have you been speaking things that are not the best to be speaking about? Have you had things that were really causing death and not life from your mouth? I don't know. You tell me. Do you need to kind of bridle your tongue a bit? Go on a tongue fast and not say anything. I'll leave you with this. I remember doing that for a period of time. I would not speak. Unless I would not make decisions unless it was 24 to 48 hours, depending on what that decision was, sometimes even 72. I would not rush because I was always one to really quickly rush. And then I learned to tame my tongue and not say things that I could say that might have been true, but I would fast and I would not actually speak it out my mouth. I wouldn't say it. And I would begin fasting. I would begin, not speaking. When I did fast, I remember when everybody was out the house, the kids would be at school and everything, and it would be from the time they went, I would fast to the time they came home. And I would literally fast from food. Sometimes I would do a dry fast and no water would touch my lips or my body. And I would just be in God's face. I'd be resting, sleeping, taking care of myself, reading my word, worshiping, and just that would be my whole day, in and out for a little over 8 hours. And I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't be on the phone. I wouldn't say anything. Sometimes I would worship, and then sometimes I would just be in the presence. And it helped me begin to tame my tongue. So yeah, hopefully that helps. All right, bye.